Welcome back to Chow Time Pod. It's your host, Red. Got a video today from P's World. Woman regrets nagging her husband after he actually leaves. Isn't that what you wanted, ladies? If you'd like to drop them below, I really appreciate that. Do that, Chow. It's Chow Time.
My husband, my partner for life, I thought, of 5 years, decided he wasn't happy anymore and left. Honestly, it was a normal day. He woke up saying his knees hurted. It was the day after Mother's Day. We had an argument about how he loaded the dishwasher. And next thing I know, he's gone. And 2 days later, I got a text message saying he was done. So now it's the end of the month. I'm trying to figure out rent and my bills and all kinds of stuff. And my kids are out of school and I have 4 kids, and it's going to be 2 months of me trying to hide all these emotions that I'm going through. But every day it's a goddamn roller coaster. And I'm trying to hold together. And I have a 5-month-old. And I have a diabetic daughter, an autistic child. I'm just going through a lot, and I would appreciate it if you just like or comment or stay to watch this video. It would help me.
It sounds like this man took care of everything. You guys have 4 kids together, and his knees were hurting after Mother's Day, it's like you said, and then you nagged the shit out of him about loading the dishwasher incorrectly. The man was taking care of everything. As you say, you're struggling to pay all the bills and do everything now, because I'm almost positive he was the breadwinner. Why would you want to treat your husband so miserably that they're willing to leave? For a man to be willing to leave 4 kids and you must have been a horrible person. Men don't leave. Men take more shit than women do, because we understand the future. We understand what we want out of this. We want our kids to be successful. I want our kids to be, good citizens. So we're going to stick throughout to make this happen. But when shit gets too bad, that shit gets thrown out the window because they can't even deal with it because their life is so miserable.
A lot. So I'm trying to figure out what to do with my life right now again.
That man had enough of your shit.
Yeah.
Had enough. Guess what? He had a 5-month-old as well, right? He had a diabetic daughter as well, right? He had an autistic child as well, right? But on top of that, he had you nagging in his ear like a damn mosquito. And you finally had enough and dipped. But one thing I will say though, an opinion that I've maintained about men, something that I do not like about men. When the family unit breaks down, too many men are okay with just leaving and leaving their kids with the mother. Why?
I agree with this.
Why are you not trying to take 1 or 2? Why are you what?
Okay, I understand this part here. They can't. Once custody is given, you can't just take 1 kid and they're going to be like okay with it, because you're separating the kids. You're separating the siblings now. So if she's going to get full custody of at least 1, most likely she's going to get full custody of all of them. Just how the court system works. And remember, P, men have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to fight for custody. And we're not talking about full custody. We're talking about just to get 50-50 custody. Not very many men, after dealing with all this and all that, have that kind of funds to be able to fight that kind of battle. That would be the other side of men not being able to do it. But I do agree with the men not wanting to do it. I can agree with you on that.
So you can live a selfish bachelor lifestyle? Now look, maybe there's backstory we don't know about. Maybe he did try to take the kids, maybe. But too often, men are okay with just seeing their kids on a weekend. But when it comes to women like this, I find it so interesting.
See, P, I don't think it's very often at all. I don't think men are okay with just seeing their kids on the weekends. It is okay because that's the best they can get. They don't got the funds. They don't got a good lawyer to be able to battle this out. And it's a long battle. So that's the best they can get. And yes, they're okay with it because they can't get more.
Because there are so many women in this position where they have a man who they're very much reliant on, but they don't treat well. They're annoying, they're nagging. They know if that man was to leave, they'd be finished. But yet they still don't treat him with the respect that he deserves. And
Yep.
then when it does break down, they come on the internet acting like victims. That man just wanted to load the dishwasher in peace. You got an opinion on that? Damn.
Yesterday was my 3-year anniversary of becoming a home borrower. I borrowed this house from the bank 3 years ago, and I hate it. And some people are asking me why. Why do you hate it? Because I can't afford it. I can't afford this house.
This is why I say home ownership is not made for everyone. People shouldn't be striving for it because a lot of people can't. Nowadays, with how much home prices are, you're looking at $6,000, $7,000, maybe even $8,000 mortgages. Who's making that kind of money to be spending $8,000 on a mortgage? What are you going to eat? What family are you going to be able to take care of when you're already spending $8,000 on a mortgage?
When I borrowed the house, I could afford it, and the bank insured that. Since then, though, when I borrowed this house, my homeowner's insurance was $1,323 a year. Today, 3 years later, my homeowner's insurance is $2,654 a year. That is a little over $100 increase, which is added to my payment. Now, I know a lot of people will say crap like, oh, well, if you buy a house, your mortgage will be cheaper than your rent. Sure, if I would...
Yeah, I hear a lot of this stupid shit about it all the time, and it's no. Unless you're living in like the Midwest or whatever, but major cities, that is not the case.
To rent a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, my rent would be a lot more than my principal and interest on this house. However, I'm escrowed, so it doesn't fucking matter because I have to pay principal and interest, my property taxes, and my homeowner's insurance monthly. So I know some people will usually say like, oh, my mortgage increased by $200 this year. Yes, we're not actually referring to the mortgage, which is the principal and interest amount. We're referring to the overall payment that we have to submit to the bank every month.
Yeah.
It's not actually the mortgage. We know that. But we're in escrow. We don't have a choice. So it's the mortgage payment that we're paying. When I signed up for this fucking house, I signed up to pay $1,800 a month. I'm
Quite affordable.
Closer to $2,200 now in 3 years.
Still somewhat affordable, $2,200. That's pretty decent compared to if you were to buy a house right now. In my city, it is $800,000. So you're looking at like 4,000 mortgage payments at least.
That's a lot of money. And it's only going to continue to increase. And that's kind of my issue with this right now. Because I'm at a point where I'm like, this is actually no different than renting. The only difference is that I don't have a landlord that I can call when my fucking toilet overflows. Or, when the basement floods or whatever the fuck happens. I don't have that option. Of course. And we all know that going into homeownership. Like, I had the savings for that. It was, I was fully aware of that. But everything is increasing. And we all know that too. Like, everything, the cost of living is increasing. And I can't afford this house. I hate it. But I can't, it's like, I'm probably not going to go back to renting because I invested over $30,000 into living here for upfront costs. Not referring to how much I've paid in my mortgage and all that. But
I mean, do you not have a partner, a husband, a boyfriend to help you deal with this? Is this is the whole strong, independent boss babe thing. I don't need no man. I can take care of my own bills. If you had a partner, had like, a boyfriend that helped pay half, I think you'd be pretty okay majority of the time. But people are so not willing to live with each other nowadays. It's so crazy. Everybody's so individualistic. I live with roommates. My rent is $700. That's cheap. I live in California, Southern California, in LA for $700. I am happy for that.
I'm a single mom,
Oh,
and
okay.
regardless of
Could
me
have
being
started
a
that
single
first.
mom,
Hold up, you're a single mom? Didn't you just make a comparison to a four bed, two bath? Do you own a four bed, two bath as a single mom?
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe I'm tripping. We gotta find out. We gotta find out.
I make a decent living. Like, there are people in joint households, two parent households, who make less than me and or make as much as me, and so it's really not the single mom aspect that I'm referring to in terms of financially. It's more so it's too much for me to do on top of being a mom and on top of working full time. Like, we all know what comes with being a single parent. So for me, it's just like it's too much. Um,
So you lived the dream. You're a single mother. You thought you could have a great career. You thought you could have a house. Thought you could do everything. And then you realized shit's a lot harder than you think to handle on your own. I wish more women would talk about this.
Life is life, and though, like, I don't know. I got sucked into the world of, oh my God, I want to get married. I want to buy a house. I want to do this. It's like, I let society.
You're not
You're a single
married,
mom.
though.
I don't get it. You said I want to get married. I want to
You're not
have a house,
married.
but you bought a house as a single mom. I don't get it.
You told me that's what I
Me and P
wanted,
are in
but
the
when I
same
got
boat.
it,
Like,
I
what?
didn't want it, and I hate that for me. Because it took me a little too long to realize what I actually wanted for my life and not what I thought I wanted for my life, because society makes it seem like we should want certain things. Um, I don't like being a homeowner. I don't like it. And I don't care about, oh, well, when you pay your house off in 30 years. I don't care about that, because the end goal for me is just making sure I have some place to come home to, I have a roof over my head. And like I said, this shit isn't mine. Whether I'm renting or borrowing or owning, this it's not mine. It's not ours. Like, it can be
Yeah,
taken
technically it's
away
not.
regardless. I'm depressed. I'm depressed. I'm just waiting to see what that. I think it's gonna.
Dude, she has a four bed, two baths for 2,200 a month. That's not bad. I don't know where she lives, but if this was in California, fuck, I would take that in a heartbeat. If I went to buy a house in California now, I'm looking at 4,000, 5,000. I'm like, oh, oh, oh.
I'm stuck. I feel stuck. I'm depressed. I feel stuck. I feel lost. I'm not happy. I'm not happy.
Damn, sis. You fell for the okie doke. And look, so many women have. Feminism tricked you guys.
Mm-hmm.
The houses, the cars, the veneers, the BBLs, the Gucci bags. All of these are status symbols. It makes these women feel like there's something that they're actually not. A lot of people go into buying houses, right? And they buy houses that they can afford. Barely. They don't think about increase in interest. They don't think about what if something happens, the roof caves in it. They don't think about nothing. They buy the best house they can possibly get. And then in 2, 3 years, they're in a situation like this. This woman said she makes more money than some dual households.
Oh,
She makes more money than some dual income households. And you're worried about mortgage payments? Huh? Who was your financial advisor? Must have been a feminist. Because they got you men out here making some terrible financial decisions. From the degrees you be getting, from some of the purchases you guys be making. It's ridiculous. A lot of women out there, they've been flexing. I've seen it. Oh, single women have more houses than single men. You know why? Because single men are waiting to have a family before they get a house.
which makes 100% sense. Like, for a single man to go buy a house on his own to wait for a family almost doesn't make sense to me. Yes, to be ready and all that, but it makes more sense when you find someone and then start purchasing a house towards the family once you find someone. Because if you bought a whole house for a 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom house, what was the purpose for it? You paid all this extra money for nothing, in my opinion. You could have just rented a 1-bedroom apartment or a 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom smaller house and would have saved a lot of money and can use that towards other things. That's just how I think about it.
But you guys, you're so antsy. You're so antsy. You just can't wait. You can't wait to jump in and just ruin your life.
Right.
Now you're depressed.
Can I vent to y'all just real quick? I'm tired of being a homeowner. I am tired of being a homeowner. I'm tired of people telling me owning a home is the best investment you could ever have. I do believe that to be true. That don't change the fact that I'm tired of being a homeowner. I'm tired of the problems that it come with. I'm tired of all the responsibility, hanging on my shoulders. I miss renting. I feel like I had more freedom with renting. Now, I know when you rent, you're paying month to month and all that money is going down the drain. It's not going towards nothing. It's not investing in nothing. I know that. And I don't care. I thought about it so much. Selling my house and going back to live with my mother. Because why not? I don't have kids. I don't have a man. I don't have any drama that I would...
See, it doesn't make sense to have a whole house when you don't have these things. It just doesn't.
Bring my mama and I can pay all her bills. Mind you, my mama still live in the projects and income-based housing. She doesn't pay rent anyway. We'll be over there living like kings and queens. Jesus Christ.
The pride won't let you do it though, will it?
No. No.
I feel like the only thing that I would miss...
Hell, pride is probably what preventing me from moving back in with my dad too. Dad wants me to move in. He's like, man, let's get a house together so we can. And I'm just like, I don't want to live with your dad. Sorry, I love you, but I can't stand your wife.
Owning my home, or moving back with my mom or just whatever, is the privacy. I do not like people all the time. I do not like noise. But when you move in with somebody or any sort of living adjustment, then you have to understand what that comes with. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just tired. Not saying that I will go live back with my mama. Not saying that I will go back renting. Not saying that I'll get a roommate. All those things is an option. I'm just tired of being a homeowner.
The other side of this part of being a homeowner, why do you want to just do it all by yourself? Like, my friend owns this house that I'm in right now, and he rents out 2 of the rooms. So his mortgage payment is like $500 because of the other rooms getting paid for. It makes it easier on him. Yes, I agree, the noise and all these little other nuances of living with other people, but it makes your life so much easier when you don't have to worry about the finance parts of it. So why not just get a couple roommates in your house, or people that weren't willing to pay rent? Just throwing it out there.
I'm tired of the issues that arise, and I look left and I look right, and the responsibility is still on you. Like, there's just no help. I'm so tired. Owning a home, I don't give a damn. Owning a home is not what it used to be. I used to take pride in owning a home. I want to sell my home bad. Let it be somebody else's problem. And I like my house. Like, when I bought it in 2020, it was newly renovated. I bought it during COVID, and I paid pennies for it. And my mortgage is cheap, and I know I shouldn't complain, honey, but I'm
What are you complaining about if your mortgage is cheap? What's the problem?
still gonna complain because it's mine and I gotta pay for it, and I'm gonna do whatever it is I want to do. And I'm just tired of the responsibility, if I can only be honest.
Oh, the responsibility, the accountability of owning a home. Oh, this is why women suck at doing it. They can't do the home improvements. They can't take care of the home the way a man can. Or at least with 2 incomes.
I feel like I had less responsibility with renting. Like, if I had one problem, I can call the landlord. I'm calling the maintenance man. I'm calling somebody else to fix the problem. I got a problem now. I can call somebody, but then my phone gonna ring because I gotta fix it.
Something that people don't really talk about in these situations, right? For a lot of these women, of course, it'll be a money issue, right? But a lot of it is just that mental, that
It seems
knowing
like
that
it.
everything's on you.
Yeah.
If something, this woman said the mortgage is low, right? But
she doesn't want the responsibility. So we've always been right. Women don't want to be leaders. Women don't want to lead shit. They don't want to even lead their own household. They want men to help handle this shit. And men are better at it. This is why historically men have led the household.
every time something breaks down, that's on you. And really and truly, if we're truly being honest, women don't want that responsibility.
Hell no.
They don't. They would much rather pass it on to a man. But thank you, feminism. Thank you very much. Now you got all these women on the internet crying about owning homes. The tears that wanted to come down from this woman's face, but again, her pride would not even let her cry on the internet. I kind of have to respect that one still.
Went into work today to be told that I couldn't actually go into my classroom. All my stuff was in a box in reception because I apparently showed something really inappropriate yesterday. I showed the kids in my class a film called Strange World, and it's basically about saving the planet, about the ecosystem, about being kinder to your surroundings. Genuinely.
Oh, I remember this. This is like that freaking Pixar, not Pixar, but DreamWorks movie, right? I did have some things in it.
I thought I was doing the right thing by trying to teach the children. So apparently one of the parents has lodged a complaint about me, but they won't tell me who, because the film has a main character who is gay. You know, apparently now I'm trying to, I think the word was indoctrinate children. I'm trying to warp their views. Apparently I'm trying to turn 30 kids gay.
How are you doing today? You okay? I've spoke to all the parents involved. The only thing that I can say now to you is anything extracurricular, no matter what it is, no matter how minuscule you think it is, it needs to be cleared first. It's the only way around it now. And I've assured the parents that any extra materials will be cleared with them first, and it'll go through me first. So I just wanted to run that by you and see where you're at with it and how you're feeling at the moment.
I kind of expected an apology, to be honest.
An apology from who?
School for starters. You've kind of pretty much just admitted that it was a misunderstanding, but I've been sat at home for a week, not knowing whether I've got a job. I was treated like a criminal when I walked into work last week. My stuff was handed to me in a box.
What needed to happen? We needed to get to the bottom of it before we could look at anything.
It was about saving the environment. It was nothing to do with people's sexual orientation, and somehow somebody's managed to make it that way.
I'm gonna side with the parents here. And I'm gonna always side with the parents when it comes to issues like this, because how does one know someone else's sexual
Intentions?
identity without them either coming out and saying it or them doing or showing some sort of sexual act? And if you have kids, there should be no movies that you're watching with anything sexual, not even a kiss, because those are not your kids. Now, do I think this woman done it maliciously? No. But again, a lot of teachers don't know their place. And if I'm a parent, I don't want you putting nothing into my kid's head except for what's 1 times 1, 2 times 2, A squared, B squared, little English, history. That's it. That's it. I didn't consent to my kids watching no movies with nothing. Again, the question that I have is, how does one show their sexual orientation without implicitly saying it or doing a sexual act?
So I want to talk about why men of this generation are scared of women. And I think it has to do with a
That's
bunch
a lot
of
of
reasons,
jiggling.
and I'm going to go into it. But number one, dating apps has made it so that men do not have to risk anything to
Oh gosh. This is distracting me, boys. The jiggling on this one is quite intense of just her just moving around like that. Alright. We must stay focused, boys. Must stay focused.
go on a date with women. Back in the day, you used to have to at least go to a bar and risk rejection in front of your friends or embarrassment or any sort of thing like that. Now it's just guaranteed. Men can go on an app and just swipe, and if you match with them, they know that you at least have interest in them, so there's literally no risk. Second, I think that people having phones and
She really thinks men are just getting swiped on all the time.
girls always recording things definitely scares men, because they always think that like a girl is going to record them and call them a creep. Men are so terrified of being called creeps. I think it's like one of the things that they fear the most.
It's not the being called a creep. It's being publicly shamed as a creep and, being like seen as a predator and as an evil being versus women. That's the biggest issue that men have about it.
They never want to be that creepy guy, and now in this generation everything's recorded and put on TikTok, so they're scared about that. And the third reason I think men are scared of women,
she's doing this shit on purpose,
they
boys.
just don't have motivation due to pornography and things like that to even go on dates, and they're so scared of being like called a creep or getting like accused of something that it's easier for them to just stay inside. I'm not saying this is an excuse, and men, you need to get out there and get over this, but I'm just
Girl, if there was more girls like you, more men would be out there.
explaining why I feel like men truly are scared of women in this.
She was cooking here, I can't lie. Pornography, yes. Dating apps, yes. Fear of being shamed, yes. Fear of rejection, in my opinion, is probably one that's grown as the dating apps have grown, because men aren't really getting rejected because it's a dating app, right? But the real one is fear of being shamed. Fear of being labeled a creep. Because maybe women don't know how much we see it, but we see it. We see the women who come on the internet and despise the idea of men approaching them. And it puts us off wanting to do it. Now, if we see an attractive woman in the street, we have to start weighing up the options. Like, is it worth being shamed? Like, is she attractive enough that if she was to shame me, it'd kind of be worth it? If she was to record me, call me a creep, embarrass me in public, would it actually be worth it? This is the situation that we're in.
Shout outs to P World. That was a great shout out to the First Lady. Maybe look at yourself and try to figure out why he left, considering men only leave about 20 to 15% of the time. Please extract them below. I really appreciate that, and catch you guys next time. Ciao.